Jesus, take the wheel. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel, Aries is an Aries. My name is Will, and I will be doing the BookTube Newbie Challenge. So let's just get right into it, I guess. First question is, why did you start this channel? The reason that I started this channel was basically because I like to read. I've been watching BookTube for quite some time, now. And yeah, like I am basically falling in love with this community. I've been a part of the writing community for a very long time. I am a writer. Basically, like, I'm just very excited to be part of such an open community and just to see where things go from there. Second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? That is a very good question. I do have some really good ideas right now, but I don't want to share them just yet because, like, I'm a person that likes surprises, and yeah, I just want to see how well it's gonna go. Question 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm basically just excited to meet these awesome people, to be a part of such a fantastic community. I'm excited to get to meet new creatives out there in the world, especially during like these hard times that each and every single one of us are going through right now. And I just think that being a part of this channel and getting to meet people through BookTube, it's just going to be a great way to be able to take ourselves away from, you know, what's going on out in the world right now. Not saying that we should totally ignore it, absolutely not, but just to be able to, like, while everything is still going on in the world right now, we should still be able to enjoy our lives, basically. And question number 4, why do you love reading? Now, that's a funny question to me, because when I was younger, I absolutely hated reading with a passion. Like, I did not want to pick up a book. I didn't want to read a story. I hardly even liked being read to. However, as a kid, I was constantly creating. I was constantly in like my own little world, because that was my safe zone. So I was creating different worlds that I knew that I wanted to be in, and that I wanted to belong in. But now, since adulthood, I thoroughly enjoy reading. I thoroughly enjoy picking up a book, smelling its pages, touching the covers, and just diving into like that different world just for a little bit. Question number 5, what book or series got you into reading? It's so cliche, but it really does have to be the Harry Potter series. And I picked up that book. I was given that book as a kid. I was given book 2. It was so out of order, and I don't know why. But I remember being given book 2, and I can remember reading like the first or second chapter, and I was like, I'm not reading this. And however, I remember early 2000s, a coworker of mine took me to go see Harry Potter movie number 6, and I had no idea what was going on. However, for some odd reason, I fell in love with the character of Dumbledore. When he worked it out at the climax of that movie, but then ended up, yeah, spoilers. But basically, I fell in love with the character of Dumbledore, and then I knew that I had to pick up that series, and I went through that series in less than a month. Like, I just dived in, and I just kept going and going and going and going and going until there was literally nothing left. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How do you do it without all of the nerves. Like, I can't. Like, my anxiety right now is through the roof, and it took me battling my depression to even start this, but here we are. Number 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Going back to my last statement, I think it would just basically be like my depression at times. I am a very, I try to be a loud mental health advocate, only because I know how crippling mental health and mental illness can be for a lot of people. There are so many people who still refuse to speak up about it. There are still so many people who still refuse to acknowledge that mental health is a real thing. However, I'm not one of those people. Like, I will tell you, you know, what's going on, and we're going to work through this. And I'm an advocate that to let every single person that I come across, or we cross paths, like, you are not alone in this whatsoever, and you will never be alone. Like, you will always have help. Just reach out a hand. And I know that's like the hardest part for a lot of us, and it still is for me sometimes, like, to just say, like, hey, hi, I need some help. But I'm hoping that also through having this booktube channel, we can talk about our love with books and mental health and so much other things. Question number 8, when did you start reading? Again, going back to like early adulthood, that's when I began to like actively read. Like, I did pick up a few books as a kid. Like, I remember there's this one series that my cousin actually bought me because I went through it like eating a piece of chicken. And she was like, oh, so let's just go get you like the rest of this series because you're just going through this. But I didn't really begin to like actively read, like reading a book basically every single day until early adulthood. Question number 9, where do you read? My bed. Like, I want to be cozy. I want to be in a place of comfort when I read. And right now, like, I'm still getting like my little office space set up, and I will be doing like a video about that later on down the line. But yeah, like, I basically just read in my room. I do want to read in like my office space and everything. But yeah. And question number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I thoroughly love contemporary fantasy. I love poetry. I'm getting into some sci-fi. I do like thriller. I haven't really read that much of thriller books, but I do absolutely love the thriller genre. But the genre that I basically gravitate towards is fantasy, only because, like I said before, like, I was always living in my own little world, and fantasy gives me that opportunity to be able to like duck out of reality just for a little bit, and just like and experience something new, basically. Poetry, I absolutely love. After I read Entozaki's For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, her work, her voice got me into poetry so deeply that I had to take the chance and write my own books, which I did, and they are published, and I will talk more about that later. But Entozaki Shange's collection of For Color Girls, it was such an empowering story told through prose and dance. She calls it a choral poem because, like I said, it's told through poetry and it's told through dance of women of color. And the stories that those women go through, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so eye-opening, because even though it's centered towards women and it is a feminist work, which is absolutely amazing, I could also piece it to like my own life as a person of color, and like I literally read it at least 10 times every single year now that I have it. Also, I do read some Edgar Allan Poe. I do read like some classics and everything, but poetry and fantasy, like they are my top two genres that I gravitate towards. But yeah, that's it. That's all of the questions. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will be trying to post new content from now on, now that I have took the plunge and started my very first booktube YouTube video. And I'll try to be posting like every Friday, every week, because that is the one day that I do know that I have off from work, you know, that adult life. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again. All right, I love you guys. Bye.